Hi, I'm Eva from amomandhercar.blogspot.com and on Instagram at amomandhercar, and this is my fourth Flosstube. Thanks so much for joining me today, and happy Valentine's Day. I wore my cute heart sweatshirt today for Valentine's Day, and we are having a very snowy Valentine's Day. I'll put a picture here, but I live in North Texas, and so it's rare for us to be able to say that we're having snow. So I'm sort of watching it come down, very pretty little flakes, and that'll be something exciting that I enjoy with my kids and my husband today. And also, it's a perfect day to get some stitching in because it's not like we're going anywhere. So we're going to have a beef stew for dinner and a nice bottle of wine, and I just think it's going to be a lovely Valentine's Day. We're also off tomorrow for President's Day. I hope many of you are too, so maybe a little more stitching in then as well. So let's kick this video off. I do these videos for three reasons. I want to hold myself accountable to keeping up, not just buying projects, but actually doing them. I want to learn. So any comments, tips, or tricks you have, please always reach out to me. I love learning about everything, but especially cross stitching. And just be part of this community. And I've just appreciated the kind comments here and on Instagram and the messages that you've sent, and I just really appreciate it. This is just, I think I'm very inspired by kind people these days, and so I really appreciate all of your kindness. And speaking of learning, some of the comments, I learned a few things in the comments from the video last week. I'm just looking here at my notes. So the Contented Stitcher, Kim at the Contented Stitcher, made a comment, and I will say, if you go see her last video, she gave me a shout out. So thank you so much, Kim. That was so sweet of you. I'll be honest, I was a little giddy when I heard my name, and my husband walked in the room like right when she said it, and he got excited. So anyways, you brought us a little joy this week. So I really appreciate the shout out on your channel. Anyhow, one thing that I learned from Kim from the comments last week, which I want to pass on, is about intellectual property. And I'm pretty serious about IP. This is something that I deal with at work. And part of my bread and butter is my IP, so I take this very seriously. And I'm very careful with charts and things like that, but there's one thing I hadn't thought about before, and so I want to mention it. In the last video, I talked about how I ordered a chart and all the supplies for the chart from Fire Poppies. So thank you, Renee, for tipping me off to Fire Poppies. I've ordered from them several times. But Fire Poppies didn't have all of the supplies. So they had most of the threads. They didn't have the same linen that it was originally kitted with. And so someone there offered to do a conversion for me. And so they picked a beautiful linen, which I'll show you today, and some different thread colors of the ones they didn't have. So for example, if they didn't have a Classic Colorworks, they found a Weeks Dye Works that matched really closely. And I mentioned that I'd put that on my blog what the conversion is, but I think I won't do that because that is Fire Poppy's intellectual property. Now, so I don't want to share, like, that was their creative design. And frankly, I don't have the skills to match that way. Like, I hope eventually I'm able to sort of kit charts up in different ways, but that's just, I would have to rely on someone else. And so all that being said, you should, I emailed Fire Poppies. They helped me. We did a couple emails, traded a couple emails back and forth. They were so helpful, and I'm sure most shops are very nice and helpful that way. So thank you for teaching me something, Kim. As always, if anyone has any comments, tips, or tricks, leave them here, and I'd love to learn from you. I also am trying to build up my linen stash, and Renee Bebla made another comment this week about the Victorian Motto Linen Club. And then she also mentioned the Be Stitch Me, and I've heard of those on Instagram, but I haven't looked into them. I also saw a linen club through Traditional Stitches, so I'm kind of thinking, I don't know if you've had any experience with these different linen clubs. I'm not sure if I would do like a 36 or a 40, which is why I'm hesitating. Because if you've watched my previous videos, you know I'm just now starting in the higher linen counts, and so I might need to play around with a few more and decide sort of, what I love before I join a club, but I am sort of keeping my eye on those things. The other thing from the last video is I've decided that not every video, but whenever I'm really inspired by a chart or I love stitching something, that I will get an extra and give it away. And that's what's going to bring me joy. And so I've been stitching these Country Cottage Needleworks Sampler of the Month. I'm doing it through a club through Fat Quarter Shop, but I bought an extra. So this isn't the chart I stitched. I bought an extra, and this is the giveaway. And so I asked you to make a comment with the word January in it last week, and there were some really great comments. Thank you very much. And I used a random comment selector. And Sarah James, you are the winner. And so you'll see my email address in the description below. So just send me an email with your mailing address and I'll get this right out to you. And thank you so much. And I hope this brings you as much joy as these charts are bringing me. I've done January and February, and we'll probably start March pretty soon. So that's all the business. Now on to the stitching. I did have a finish last week, which I assumed that I would, but this is Sew by Row, and I've said this every single video, but I love this piece. So what I finished last week were the little fabrics on the bottom, the little fabric bundles on the bottom. One thing about this piece, I don't know, this is 25 count Cloud Lugana, and I used the called for DMCs. I started it so close to this side. I don't know why I did that. And as I went out, you see how close that border is? I mean, I have no idea. I'm usually a little more careful about that. Well, I don't know that I'm careful, but I try to pay attention to that. I think maybe the scissors threw me off because I start at the top right of a piece, which I don't know if that's normal, or the bottom right. So I'm going to frame it, and so we'll see what happens. I think I have enough to frame it, and so I'm not too worried, but the more rows I went down, the more I noticed that I was just super, super close, and that made me a little nervous. So anyways, I'm excited to be finished. I'm actually a little sad to be finished with this one because it was so relaxing and happy and cheerful. But now I get to frame it and put it up in this office, and so that's exciting. And my giveaway this week is one of these charts. So I will have a question for you at the end of the video. You just answer, make a comment, like, and subscribe, and then you will be entered in the giveaway. Do this, I would do this by Saturday evening. I pick these first thing Sunday when I get up to film the videos. And so if you'll do that by Saturday, then you'll be entered for this. And I hope you love this one as much as I have. I mean, it's just been a joy to stitch, and I've seen different people stitching them a little differently. Like Lori Holt, whose pattern that is, she's stitching this on her new 20 count cork linen, which I want to try on a project. So that's fun to see as well. So the rest of my whip, sorry, the cool air has my throat just a little scratchy. So one of the things I'm working on, this was my first sampler, and I'm hoping to add more and more samplers. Oh, that's upside down. So this is May Peace and Health by Milady's Needle. I don't know, I didn't say that very well. I'm a little butterfingery today, so this video should be interesting. But this is my first sampler, and I got this like a year ago when I was really brand new. Really brand new. So it's 32 count parchment. I'm using the called for DMC colors, and this week I wanted to get these 3 flowers done just to keep sort of plugging along on this. I need to make this a focus piece soon, but for now, as long as I'm making a little bit of progress each month, I'm okay with that. I love everything about this. I think I said this, but this was my first piece of linen. It's 32 count, and so it is challenging for me because it's not as even weave as like Ada or an even weave, a more true even weave. But I had a good time stitching on that this week. I actually didn't get as much stitching time during the week as I wanted. Unfortunately, work kept getting in the way. I'm sure many of you can sympathize with that, but maybe this next week I'll get to catch up on some of the stitching I didn't get to do. I'm also doing the Spooky Hollow series from Little Stitch Girl, and I'm on the library, which is exciting for me. I'm a big reader, so I was really happy about this one being the next in the series, and I did get started on this. This will be my focus piece next week as well. So this is Fabric Flare, 18 count Fabric Flare, and I'm using a combination of the thread. So I actually started this with the DMC. She has it charted, Classic Colorworks, and DMC, and I think the model is stitched with Classic Colorworks because there's lots and lots of variegation. So I started with the DMC, and as you can see, all of these stone pathways are done in DMC. So there's no variegation, but I like the bright green grass. And so I got the stone pathway done this week. But then when I got to the coffee shop, I wanted the variegation in the brown, and then the dance hall for sure, I wanted the variegation. And so I switched over to Classic Colorworks. So for the library specifically, I kept the Stone Path Pure DMC, just so they match all the way along. And then I switched over, so that white color is Shabby Sheep, which was interesting. I'm never going to be able to show you this up close because my camera's probably not good enough, but you know, they talk a lot about if you're going to do a project, especially with over-dyed floss, I've heard this before, to make sure that you get sort of the same dye lot. And that is, and before I've been like, yeah, of course, sure, if I tried, but I wasn't able to with this one because I kind of pieced it together, and floss is rare these days. But anyways, the Shabby Sheep on the door has these gray hints to it. But the windows, I had to change skeins. It's more white and it has like a khaki. It's not gray to it. Now, I think I'm the only person in the entire world who will ever notice this, and it's still kind of creepy, like the gray's sort of silvery haunted, and this is like a dirty window, which you would expect in a ghost town. But still, it's the first time I've ever noticed it. And so now I'm getting just the outline of the house done. I'll do the roof, and then I'll start filling in all the little details. Like they always have little bats, and I think there's a little cat on the roof. So I'll get to that this week. And then I'll put this one, I'll get as far as I can this week, and then I'll put this one away for a little bit. These are, I try to do one a month, but they are bigger stitches than I anticipated. Those little seams are, I don't know if it says 100 by 92. So it's, I don't know, it's pretty big to get done in a week, but I love the little Halloween scene. And the other thing that I swore I would do this week is Mistletoe Lane. So this one's just kind of dragging on. I love it. I don't mean to say like dragging on in a bad way, but I don't get enough time to work on it. I got this last July from Fat Quarter Shop. I'm using the called for DMC on this one, and there's not very many colors, so this is a very economical one. I think I also had most of these in my stash, and that's why I ordered this PDF. And then I ordered a piece of 25 count pewter Lugana. And the one thing I wanted to do this week was start the green, what is that? I can't think of the word for it. The green leafy stuff under the Merry Christmas. So I swore I was going to get, I have a project a week, a whip a week where I am at least going to get one thread in. And I got it started, but this one was giving me trouble. It was a morning, kind of like today, where I was very butterfingery and I was going fast and I was trying to get my one thread in before work started. And I'm sure I was distracted by work. And I kept knotting things, and actually this is wrong. So I'm gonna have to pick, this part's right, but this bottom green is wrong. So I'm gonna have to pick it out next time I pull it out. But I was getting so frustrated. And then I thought, what in the world are you doing? This is your relaxation hobby. And so I just stopped and put it away and went on with my day. And that's just how it is sometimes, right? So, but that was my whip. And then I did a video on this one. So I went to start this one, I can't remember, when did I post the video? Yesterday? The weekend's flying by, I'm sorry. So I went to start this one. This is my Valentine's present to myself, and I have a few other Valentine's presents for myself. I always get presents for myself. That's probably bad, but I don't know, it makes me happy. This is one of my Valentine's presents for myself that I was going to start sometime over the weekend. So maybe I did this Friday night. And when I went to start it, I was like, oh, I'll just film this. This was my first time stitching on 40 count. And so you can go watch that. Give me tips and tricks if you have them. But what else was I going to say about this? Well, let me just show you. I am loving 40 count. It does take me longer, so this is definitely a challenge. This is what I was going to say. So I got these kitted up from Fire Poppies. So here are my beautiful. This is what I was talking about at the beginning of the video. So they matched as best they could for me. Was it this one? I don't remember. Now, I mean, this is the day I'm having. So I think I'm going to go sit down in front of a movie and stitch for the rest of the day because I can't even remember anything. So there you go. But those colors are so pretty, as you can see. And I've started with these two. So they did not have what this was called for, which was beeswax. Oh, that's right. I went to my, the Stitch Niche, my local needlework shop, and they sort of chuckled at me. They're like, nobody has beeswax right now. So they got me a piece of platinum. I think this is Zweigart, but we forgot to write it down, and I forgot what she said, but I think it's Zweigart Platinum. And I was like, yep, that's perfect, and I do think it's going to be fine. But when I started with the eggplant, which is what this border is done in, I mean, you can't even see the difference. And at first I started going, yikes. So you can barely see, I started outlining this banner at the bottom here. So I'm working on the banner. I start right to left. So I'm starting here and going across, and then I'll go back to the hill, although the banner will take me a while. And you couldn't see it. And at first I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to go get a different piece of linen. But then when I put this brown color in, Blackbird, I think, I can tell you, Blackbird, it's actually really lovely. And so I think that because this is just the banner, I think it's going to be fine. So I'm going to keep going. I love it. This does take me longer. You'll see my video. When I was starting, I just pulled out 2 threads and started, and was like, oh wow, it's hard to get 2 threads through. But then I remembered, wait, on 40 count, you're supposed to use 1 thread over 2. So anyways, I love it. It's a good start. I'm going to stitch on it more today. I do need lots of light. I've seen comments about magnifiers. I'll actually ask a couple of questions today for the giveaway. One of the questions is, you can answer either. You don't have to answer multiple. But one question is, if you have a magnifier that you love, if you can put it in the comment for me, because I think I'm going to have to look for a stronger magnifier. I use readers and have glasses, and I'm going to the eye doctor. But to make the 40 count a little more enjoyable, especially in the evenings when I'm tired, my eyes are getting tired, I'm going to need a magnifier. So if you have a favorite one, if you will list it for me, I would love that. So that's the first question you can answer for the giveaway. Let's see what I had next. Okay, so I got a little, that's all I worked on this week, which felt like a lot, especially with work going on. But I did get a little bit of stash. Let me see what I have here. Okay, so I've mentioned this the last couple of videos. On February 28th, I'm going to show the one that doesn't have my address on it. How about that? On February 28th. All right. See what I mean by butterfingers? It's fine. There you go. This is Madame Chantilly's Spring Tier Tray. Evelyn Across the Pond and Georgia Girl Stitcher are starting a sale on February 28th, which is next Sunday, and they are doing the winter tier trade. I have plenty of winter in my life with beautiful snow still coming down, and so I am doing spring, and I had this mostly kitted up before, and so I don't know if I'll get started on this before the video next week or not, but I'll start it next Sunday. I had this beautiful piece of 40 count flax, and I had some of the thread, but I made a quick trip to Michael's for a few things yesterday, so I grabbed the rest of the thread, the DMC, so I just need to put them on bobbins, and then I'm ready to go on that one. So that was a little bit of stash. The other thing, I would say the big, oh, I'm putting this in the wrong bag, the big stash that I got, I can't believe I did this, but it's really X Stitcher MD's fault. I don't know if you watch her, but she's lovely. And she has been working on the Modern Folk Embroidery 2021 sale called The Fruits of Plenty. And I've seen this and she just raves about it. And then I started following the hashtag on Instagram, and everyone who stitches this is just like, I can't put it down. It's beautiful. And I think the idea is that every month a piece, so like somewhere in here was January, and then this was February with the heart. I will never be able to keep up with this. I mean, I'm already pretty much 2 months behind. And I have just a lot of stitching going on, and I don't want to stress myself out. So I've decided to give myself 3 years to finish this. I know it's ridiculous, but I got to kind of have, I can't have too many whips floating out there without goals, or I'm scared I'll just never get them done. But I'm going to try to do one section a quarter. So like if I could get this section done by the end of March or even April, since I'm behind, and then in Q2 of this year, Q3, do this, next year, and then this in 2023. And then somewhere in here, there's a year. So at the top, it says 20, and at the bottom, it says 21. I'll just change that to whatever year it is. I'll just make it work. Because I don't know, it's just so beautiful. Won't that be gorgeous? And I'm trying to do it very much. If you may be doing this, or if you're interested in it, if you follow the hashtag, there's lots of people doing it in very different colors, and they're just putting their spin on it. But what I fell in love with a little bit were these colors. I don't know what the right verb is there. So I emailed Fire Poppies. They helped me pick out a piece of linen. I can't even remember what it is, but when it comes in, I'll show you. And then I'm just using Jacob, the owner of Modern Folk Embroidery. He put this on his Instagram that he's using DMC 932. That's how he stitched it, in 3750. Oh, I don't even know if you can see that, but I thought these were beautiful. So I may start it with these colors. I already had these in my stash, so I thought, well, I think I like it this way, but I'm going to get my linen and see. Now, I might do one other thing, which is when I get the linen, I might go visit my local needlework shop, the Stitch Niche, and I might play around with some of their silks that they have. And if they have silks that are pretty good matches to this that I fall in love with, I might change it. So I don't know. If I'm going to be working on it for 3 years, I just really want to love it. Not that I don't love DMC. I have lots and lots of projects in DMC, but I just want it to be special. So I may be kidding it with this. I bought this online, the PDF. You immediately get it. It's very organized. It's one of those, like, you click the button and once you pay, you get it. So now I'm just waiting on linen, and then I'll play around with my thread. If you have any ideas, please put them in the comments, because I'm really excited about that. And then the last stash I got, I was kind of sad that Sew by Row was over, and I wanted another Lori Holt pattern. And I know she's doing a prim stitch along with that quarter shop. And I almost ordered that, but then I got on the website, and I told you before, we're a camper family. So I saw this one. It's one of her older patterns, I guess. I don't know how old, but, and I thought, I could do this and I could frame it like this and put it in my camper, and I would love it so much. So, and I might even store this in my camper to stitch on. I hear Lori does that when she talks about this on her videos. So that would be a fun, nice stitch. So I don't know what I'm going to stitch it on. I don't know when I'm going to start it, but I saw it and I just had to have that pattern. It's super cute. And I need another Lori Holt stitch because they are very, very relaxing. The other thing I wanted to mention, the rest of my Valentine's presents, along with Sweetheart Hill by Plum Street Samplers, is, I'm a Costco girl. I don't know if you are or not, but I got myself this Be Kind shirt, which reminds me very much of Flosstube and the people on here. And then I'm going to bend down, sorry. The other thing, I was at Costco, and I've kind of kept my eye on this is an Ottlight. I don't know if you can see it. It's such a cute Ottlight. Like, my regular Ottlight is not cute, but it's certainly, I didn't buy it for its cuteness. It's just a white light. But this one, when I first saw these, I thought, I can keep this in my living room. And it doesn't, it looks like decoration, but it has 3 different settings, great light bulb in there. 3 different settings of different colors. So there's white light, blue light, yellow light, and the brightness, 3 different colors. And this is a cell phone charger. So you just lay your phone here and it's a cell phone charger, and it has a USB plug as well. So, and I'm pointing this out because when I first saw these at Costco, they were $44, and now they're clearance, at least at my Costco, for $29. And so I got one of these, and my husband kind of made fun of me. He was like, I don't think you need another lamp in your life, but whatever. And now he's been using it more than me. He really likes like just to set his phone there and it's bright, so maybe we'll get another one. But they're on clearance, and so if you like that, then you might want to check your Costco out. And I believe Costco has free shipping. I've never been charged shipping from Costco when I order from them. So there you go. Those are my Valentine's presents. Let me see here what else I wanted to mention. So next week I'll be working on the Spooky Hollow Library. Hopefully I finish. I don't know though, there's a lot of stitching left on that one. I may just have to put it away until next month, but I'm excited because it's the fun part of stitching the library. I'll keep going on my Sweetheart Hill by Plum Street Samplers. I hope, I don't know, I'm not experienced enough at 40 count yet, but I hope I get that whole, the words at the bottom, I belong with you. We'll see, because then it feels like the rest is super fun with the hill and the house. And then I might pull out my Mistletoe Lane, I don't know, and do more of this greenery here. I'll do at least one strand in it, just to make a little progress. And then the other thing I'm going to pull out, an old whip, is Harvest Chockful by Hands On Design and Priscilla Blaine. I've shown this once before, but I think I'll just put a thread of this Queen Bee in it. Classic Color Works Queen Bee, I love that color. And I'm filling in the sunflowers, and so I'll just keep going. I have a little bit to finish here. I think I have 2 sunflowers, no, maybe 3 sunflowers left. So I'll see, I'll just put a little bit of yellow in and see how far I get, and then maybe I can start on the mason jar after those sunflowers are done. So that is my plan for next week. I'm just looking at my notes here to see what else I wanted to talk about. That may be it. So Sarah James, please send me an email and I'll get the sampler of the month chart out to you. Then don't forget my giveaway chart this week is Sew by Row. And so I told you that I would have 2 questions for you. So number 1, subscribe to my channel, or be subscribed to my channel, like this video, and then answer 1 of 2 questions and put the word sew in your comment. So, because that's what I'll use of the, what I call it, the random comment selector. I'll use the word sew, S-E-W, and either answer your favorite magnifier glass or magnifier that you use on the higher thread counts, if you have any tips or tricks for me on that one. Or the other question is, are your favorite Flosstubers? So I feel like I follow a lot of Flosstubers, but I got caught up on most of the videos that I wanted to watch, and so I need more folks to watch. And so if you mention your favorite Flosstuber or your favorite magnifier and put the word sew, you will be entered for the drawing. I will do that next either Saturday evening. No, I'll do it next Sunday morning actually. So as long as you have it in by Saturday evening, you're fine. If you do it Sunday morning, do it really, really early. I hope you have a lovely Valentine's Day and you get lots of stitching like I plan to do today after my chores are done. And I hope you get tomorrow off and have a lovely week. I know that weather is crazy in all kinds of places, and our little, dusting of snow that I'm looking at out here is nothing compared to some of you with, feet and feet of snow. So please stay safe and take care and have a great week.